This is our second take, James, on the Champions League draw. Now, firstly, the biggest game of the tie still involves Paris Saint-Germain. No Messi versus Ronaldo just yet. They are taking on Real Madrid. Again, massive subplots in terms of these two big teams.
Absolutely. I feel like Pep Guardiola, you know, that meme, he's like, twice. That's how I feel right now. So here we are, we're chatting about it again. I'm trying not to get confused. You're right. PSG against Real Madrid is the one, isn't it? Straight away, you know, me and yourself, people in football media, you look for those narratives and those storylines, and this is the one. PSG, I don't know if it's better than the previous one. I think it probably is. Instead of Man United, it's Real Madrid, and it's Sergio Ramos going back. And also Kylian Mbappe, possibly going to his future club. So it's an interesting one on that level. In terms of the game itself, I did a reaction on my channel as well. And this was the one that I was really, really struggling to decide if it's PSG a few months down the line with a bit more chemistry, Neymar comes back and they find a way to make it work, or a Real Madrid side that is completely firing at the moment and is going to be able to have a bit more of a run up into this game as opposed to last year when they were going toe to toe with Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. How do you see this one playing out? Because I just think this is so tight.
Well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Last summer, Paris Saint-Germain put in a huge bid for Kylian Mbappe, who only had a year left on his contract. None of us could believe it when Paris Saint-Germain turned that down. Now, maybe if Real Madrid wanted to go back in January to see if they could prize the French superstar away, this time around, Paris Saint-Germain might have said, yes, only got 6 months on his deal. Why not take 50 million quid or so? Well, now you're going to be facing them in the Champions League. That's going to change your mind completely, isn't it? If you think this is a year that you can go and win it, you're going to want to hold on to him and stop him from going to La Liga. So I think that could be interesting in terms of what happens in January, whether Real Madrid...
Do you really think there's any chance he goes to PSG then? Now, I think it was done and dusted for the season when they said no to the 200 million.
It's interesting. It's just, you know, I think at that point in time, there's a year left. Now you're thinking 6 months left. Depends on the money, doesn't it? But what are you going to achieve in the next 6 months? It really has to be all about the Champions League. Maybe if the draw was different and you thought, you know what, we could still go and win this without Kylian Mbappe, maybe. Well, now this time, I think that their mind will be completely changed, and it's going to be all about going out for that Champions League and definitely not releasing him. I think the draw would have definitely changed their thinking there. It's an interesting game, just in terms of the subplots. Yes, okay, that's one thing. But in terms of the quality of the two sides, Real Madrid are really fewer superstars than we could remember. Yes, they've still got some big names there, but not really at their peak in terms of their careers. Vinicius Jr. is firing, but you'd have to say, of course, all the big names are at Paris Saint-Germain. In fact, that's been basically how they've recruited last summer, all about the names. Let's just see if we can get them in the squad. Doesn't really matter if there's any balance. Doesn't really matter if it fits. I think Carlo Ancelotti has got Real Madrid balanced and working, all at clockwork right now. It's the total opposite to Paris Saint-Germain. I actually think they should be really disappointed they ended up with Real Madrid and not Manchester United.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to talk about the England clubs in a second. So just give you a prediction on that game then. If you had to go for someone, who would you go for, PSG or Real Madrid?
At this time, I'd have to go for Real Madrid. I just think they function. And actually, I think the dysfunctional team is Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah, totally agree with you there. I think it is so close, though, because you've got so many superstars on the pitch. Let's have a look at some of the English clubs then, who they've got. Was Villarreal, it's now Sporting Lisbon. For Man City. For Chelsea, back-to-back draws against Lille. So that's a safe one for them. It was destined, clearly. And then I think the most interesting of the English clubs, it's got to be the next two, hasn't it? Atletico Madrid against Manchester United. Manchester United had PSG prior to that. And Inter Milan against Liverpool. Liverpool had Salzburg in the first draw and then got bumped up to Inter Milan. Those two, for me, I feel like Chelsea are through. Man City are through, surely, even though I do like Sporting Lisbon. But Atletico Madrid, it's such a different game to PSG for Man United. It's a nasty one. It's an ugly one. And Inter Milan are a really, really good side. I think we both thought that they could get through or have a good chance against Ajax. So how do you feel about those second two?
Start with Manchester United. I've always struggled against the low block. So really, Ralph Rangnick needs to change the style. I know he's only had 3 matches at this point. By the time that tie comes around against Diego Simeone, that high press really needs to be functioning. Whatever the plan is, 4-2-2-2, it needs to be really working to go to Atletico Madrid. I know they have struggled, But actually, I think they might be a cup team this season, and the Champions League and the way they try and play might be more suited to going further in this competition. At the moment, it certainly is. They haven't really played great during the group stage, but actually, I think there is a lot of nous, a lot of experience in terms of Champions League knockout football from their manager and their squad as a unit. And it just isn't the case with Manchester United. So I think Manchester United are favourites, but only if Rangnick can get them to play the way that he wants. If there's still a bit of confusion in that squad in terms of what they exactly should be doing, then actually you'd favour Atletico Madrid, where the instructions are quite clear, even though they haven't played that well. Very difficult one to call. Inter Milan, I think, are a fantastic team. Love to watch them. They score some really special goals. But if they play open football against Liverpool, I think that there's only one winner here. You know, the quality is there in terms of Liverpool squad, the achievements under Jurgen Klopp. I really like what Inzaghi has done with Inter Milan. We thought they were going to drop off slightly. They haven't really, still right up there. If they can keep that form going into the game against Liverpool, they will feel like they could cause a shock. But I feel it would be a shock.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think when we're talking about comfort, I feel like Man City and Chelsea go through with comfort. With Liverpool, I think they go through, but I don't think it's an enjoyable experience. That second leg at Anfield will be really, really important when it comes to that one. I've got Atleti going through against Man United. It's a bit of a gut call there. I just don't think we know what Man United are right now. We're waiting to see. Man United fans are hoping that the cure is there in terms of Ralf Rangnick, but we'll see, because it is such a clash of styles. It might be one that Atletico Madrid look at and go, yeah, I think we fancy this one. Final question for you then, Hugh. Are there any other shocks out there? I'll give you mine. Villarreal to beat Juventus. I don't think they would have done anything against Manchester City. They are struggling in the league, but I wonder if they're able to stop this Juventus side that does struggle to score goals at times, and I think could be a tight affair, and maybe, just maybe, Villarreal could provide a shot. What do you think?
I like Unai Emery's coaching. They obviously did well in the Europa League last season, getting through it, but they have that experience of knockout, double leg football. So I think they have a chance. You know, again, they have to probably play to their best. We know Juventus haven't been at theirs. We might see a turnaround by the time these ties happen, but at this point in time, you have to give Villarreal a chance. And again, would it really be a shock? You know, I think they're two very evenly matched teams, two very strong teams. Benfica against Ajax is a great tie. I think we're going to see great football there. At this point in time, because of what they've done in the Champions League so far, maybe you have to slightly favour Ajax. But I actually think Benfica have been a really solid team in the European competition. Also domestically, they've been pretty strong so far this season. I think they will feel like that is a decent draw for them and one that they could go through. All in all, though, it might not necessarily be the best tie in terms of the sexy ties for the last 16, but in terms of the quarterfinals, semi-finals, what we might see, this is a fantastic draw.
Hi guys, James Alcott here from ESPN's Football Forecast. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and you want to check out more, make sure you subscribe to ESPN UK.